So obviously, I do not want to send hate towards anyone mentioned in this video, including the Infographics Show, who we're going to review today, but I want to complain about something. The thumbnail is legitimately one of the worst I've ever seen. The T-Rex over here is holding a gun, and the video is supposed to be about Spinosaurus and not T-Rex. This is how ridiculous the thumbnail is. So, we're all going to be on a wild ride today. Alright guys, buckle up and let's begin the show.
From razor-sharp claws half the size of a grown man to canines big enough to crush a buffalo's windpipe in one bite, nature has had billions of years of evolution to tinker with the anatomy of predators with one goal: to make the most efficient killer of all time.
There really is no comparison when it comes to the most efficient killers of all time. You can't really compare a T-Rex to an Anomalacaris, whatever, and a lion.
But what were some of the most fearsome and lethal predators to ever walk the earth?
According to the thumbnail, we're supposed to be talking about the Spinosaurus and the Spinosaurus only. So are we just going to use multiple random creatures from the internet and just throw them into the list?
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Infographics Show.
Fun fact, I used to watch the Infographics Show for a bit, but then their content started to become content farmy, so I stopped watching the Infographics Show. Not surprised that someone tried to suggest a paleontology video from the Infographics Show. Let's see if their quality still holds up, or they just go on a content farm downward spiral just like Brightshine and 5-Minute Crafts did.
Today we're taking a look at 4 of the greatest predators in history. 4. Smilodon. No animal has impressed or baffled scientists more than the legendary saber-toothed tiger.
How many seconds are we into this video? I don't think we've been in there for like 30 seconds and we already have one wrong thing. Do not ever call a Smilodon a saber-toothed tiger, especially when it comes to paleontology and a supposedly educational video like this.
With canines up to 8 inches long.
7 to 8 inches long to be more specific, so I guess you aren't wrong.
Its massive killing teeth would have permanently protruded from its mouth as it savored the kill to come. But how exactly Smilodon did its killing is what confounded scientists for decades, as the teeth are actually too large and brittle for typical killing bites across a prey's body. Those massive chompers may have looked terrifying, but the truth was that if Smilodon sunk those teeth into the rib cage of a struggling buffalo, there was a good chance.
You're talking about a buffalo, yet you're showing a horse being bitten by the Smilodon, with multiple more horses running in the background. Where are the buffaloes?
They would snap off. Modern forensics and pressure mapping found that the teeth were simply too brittle to risk in anything but a direct killing blow to an animal's most sensitive area, the jugular in the neck. Thus, scientists concluded that Smilodon used its massive bulk to actually wrestle its prey to the ground before sinking those dagger-sized teeth into the neck and severing major arteries, causing its victims to quickly bleed to death.
The animation itself is just very goofy. Also, I kind of predicted how this video was going to go. We're going to be talking about Smilodon first. We're probably going to be putting Spinosaurus last, making this video seem like 25% legit.
Though long thought to be a solitary animal, scientists recently discovered strong evidence that Smilodon actually lived in prides similar to African lions.
Their social structure might have been more similar to a wolf pack than a lion pride, but a lion pride social structure is still a possibility.
The discovery of injured bones showing healing scars from wounds that would have been crippling to the animal showed that even severely wounded Smilodons were able to eat and survive, indicating a supportive group of primates that shared in kills together. This helps lend credence to the theory that Smilodons wrestled prey to the ground and helps explain the evolution of such massive, long, but ultimately brittle canines. Those iconic chompers also meant that Smilodons actually couldn't eat much of the carcass from a kill, as it would have been too risky to bite into the bone.
Facts that have nothing to do with the Spinosaurus, which was supposed to be the main point of the video.
And thus left Smilodons with only the soft parts of the body, such as the stomach region, to eat from. This also indicates just how formidable a predator Smilodon really was.
Grammar mistake. It's supposed to be, this shows how formidable of a predator the Smilodon was,
as they would have required far more frequent kills to keep an entire pride fed than today's lions, which devour pretty much every part of a prey's body. Smilodon survived for millions of years across all of North America, and after the creation of the Isthmus of Panama, spread south of the border to conquer South America.
Like, you should make Panama connected at some form. Fairly small detail, but it would be nice if you actually connected the two Panamas to connect both Americas.
An apex predator of the New World, Smilodon mysteriously disappeared around 13,000 years ago.
How dare you call the Smilodon's disappearance mysterious? The Smilodon's disappearance is anything but mysterious.
Along with the rest of the great Ice Age mammals, such as the giant sloth and the woolly mammoth. This sudden disappearance has left scientists puzzled, and though man has been historically blamed, researchers today have serious doubts about the ability of early man to effectively hunt so many animals to extinction on his own.
It kind of makes sense though, considering humans are incredibly intelligent animals. While they lack size, strength, and power, they make up for it with their incredible intelligence and able to easily work in teams.
Instead, a new theory supported by the discovery of a global layer of iridium dust in the geologic layers of the Earth hints at a large asteroid impact just a few thousand years before the rise of mankind's earliest civilizations. Not big enough to wipe the slate clean for life on Earth, the impact may have been large enough to cause severe weather disruptions that led to the extinction of large land herbivores and inevitably the predators who relied on them.
As well as that, the changing landscape. Nothing stays the same forever. It's the end of the Ice Age. Of course, stuff like the woolly mammoth is going to become extinct.
3. Anomalacaris. One of the first predators to evolve on planet Earth, Anomalacaris ruled the primitive oceans 500 million years ago. Though the land back then would have been similar to modern-day Mars, with continents covered by nothing but barren rock, life had already conquered the oceans.
Also, the oceans were still blue at that time, so no, it did not look like Mars one bit. The only reason you said that it looked like Mars was because there were no plants, it's just barren rock.
But early evolution had moved rather slowly, with little pressure and incentive to innovate and adapt, so most creatures were at this point simple, soft-bodied creatures that drifted along in the ocean currents. Then suddenly, evolution took a sharp and strange turn. The first predators arrived, and none were stranger than Anomalacaris.
Well, Cambrian era stuff is strange indeed.
The biggest predator of its time and about a meter long, Anomalacaris was an invertebrate with a flexible, segmented body, not unlike that of a centipede. It had large, protruding eyes and a circular mouth built from razor-sharp, bony plates. The strangest feature, however, was no doubt the two massive tentacles right in front of its mouth, which it would have used to seize struggling prey before dragging it into its hungry mouth.
All these facts later, and we still haven't talked about the Spinosaurus one bit, which is the title of the video, why Spinosaurus was the greatest predator ever. There is currently no mentioning of the Spinosaurus.
The arrival of the first predators began as an arms race between predator and prey, resulting in the evolution of hard-shelled defenses and the birth of the first arthropods. These early arthropods were Anomalacaris' prey, and using its powerful tentacles, it overcame bony shells by flexing and twisting a seized animal until the shell cracked. More impressive than this feat of strength, though, was Anomalacaris' complex eyes.
By the way, are we supposed to be in some sort of water? Because this looks more like sand or just barren rock than water.
Which would have been a massive evolutionary leap forward and made it one of the first animals ever to track prey by sight. A product of one of the first experiments by evolution which resulted in other strange creatures, Anomalacaris and other early weirdos were ultimately evolutionary dead ends that eventually went extinct. Though many subspecies of Anomalacaris are thought to have existed, none of its iconic features would go on to be passed down to other animals.
It's just how paleontology works sometimes. There really is nothing you could do to stop evolution. Time only moves forward, even by millions of years. So yeah, a lot of evolution.
Meaning that no matter how fearsome, Anomalacaris was ultimately a dead-end branch on the Tree of Life. 2. Tyrannosaurus rex.
Oh, so there's the T-Rex. Okay, the model itself already has a few problems. It's shrink-wrapped. Obviously, it looks very cartoony, but it's an infographics show. But like, the wrists are pronated, as you can see. And yeah, the wrist being pronated just hurts my soul so much. Why does everyone have to pronate the T-Rex's wrists, just breaking them? Why does everyone make T-Rex commit self-mutilation to try and get to the mainstream?
The king of dinosaurs, Tyrannosaurus rex was without a doubt one of the most terrifying predators to ever exist. Its arsenal of weapons included serrated teeth up to 8 inches long, neatly fitted into a mouth that could be up to 4 feet long and opened up to 3 feet wide. Modern forensics have discovered that T-Rex had the greatest bite of any known terrestrial animal, with a bite force of almost 12,800 pounds.
You said almost 12,800 pounds, and that kilogram equivalent is correct. So, there is no excuse for you to show the bite force as 2,800 pounds instead of 12,800 pounds. You forgot to add the 1, which is inexcusable, in my opinion.
Which was 6 to 7 times greater than that of its cousin Allosaurus.
Trust me, the T-Rex and Allosaurus were not closely related to each other in the slightest. I mean, they both are theropods, but still.
Yet adolescent T-Rexes couldn't match the bite strength of their older peers, topping out at a bite force of 880 pounds. This meant that young T-Rex would have targeted smaller prey, leading to something called resource partitioning, and no competition between younger and older T-Rexes for prey, a huge evolutionary advantage for the fearsome predator. That incredible bite power—
It's not supposed to exist with Stegosaurus. The Stegosaurus is supposed to be a late Jurassic animal, not a late Cretaceous animal.
Would have meant that an adult T-Rex bit down on prey with a vice-like grasp, likely on the flank of—
Also, if the T-Rex even attempted to bite a Stegosaurus's tail, which is probably the dumbest move that it could ever do, the tail would just simply impale the T-Rex's face and head.
Large dinosaurs. Its teeth would crush bone and puncture arteries while shredding internal organs. Unlike other specialized killers such as Smilodon or other dinosaurs, it's thought that T-Rex's bite was so formidable it didn't target specific areas of a prey item to secure a kill, but rather simply attacked prey savagely until it died of blood loss.
This is probably the dumbest way to describe how a T-Rex hunts. The T-Rex probably hunted in 2, and they probably hunted weaker Edmontosaurus. There had to be 2 of them to kill the Edmontosaurus, and like the Edmontosaurus did not get killed within 1 bite. The T-Rexes did not attack savagely, and I don't think T-Rexes would attack savagely at all.
Yet despite its incredible biting power, T-Rex was actually unable to chew its food.
Unable to chew its food.
which left it at serious risk of choking. In fact, scientists have discovered the remains of large cousin of T-Rex that had died from choking on two bones that had become lodged in its throat. Fearsome as it was, T-Rex can't be talked about without bringing up the elephant in the room. Its two tiny little forearms.
They aren't supposed to be joked about. They may also have some usages, like, for example, mating, maybe helping the Rex stand up, or a more accepted theory of mine. Not my theory, by the way, some other people's theory, but like preventing other T-Rexes from biting it.
Too short to reach its mouth and far too weak to aid in defense or hunting. The best theory offered so far is that they may have acted as a counterbalance for its massive head, or perhaps used as part of a mating ritual. One of the last of the large dinosaurs to evolve on Earth, it would ultimately take an asteroid impact to put an end to T-Rex's reign, which in our opinion is kinda badass. After all, few predators to ever evolve would require an act of God to put their fearsome reign to an end. But given the size of those terrifying teeth and gigantic jaws, we're kinda glad it did.
Man, you all know no restraints. T-Rex were majestic creatures, and you try to slam on them like that, and other non-avian dinosaurs and stuff, and also pterosaurs to some extent. That is not good.
1. Spinosaurus.
Finally, we got to the Spinosaurus, but like the design itself is already wrong. Yay. Can't really expect much from the Infographics Show, but like try and do a little bit of research on stuff.
One of the few animals to rival T-Rex in size and strength, Spinosaurus grew to 50 feet long.
There really is nothing else to say about this estimate other than it being outdated,
making it just a few feet longer than T-Rex, though with a more slender body build. Its most iconic features, however, were the 6.5-foot tall spines that ran the length of its back, giving it an iconic sail, and the massive claws on its forelimbs that would have easily sliced a man in half. Living in what was once a tropical river system in northern Africa.
Okay, so I don't think any of these marine creatures over here coexisted with the Spinosaurus. And what is a Spinosaurus doing walking on water? Is it secretly a god?
Spinosaurus inhabited swamps filled with sharks, coelacanths.
The fact that the Spinosaurus is actually walking on water, it really pisses me off a lot.
Crocodiles, and various close relatives of T-Rex. This hyperconcentration of predators in one area has led paleontologists to call Spinosaurus' stomping grounds the most dangerous place in the history of our planet. Yet fearsome as Spinosaurus was, this mighty carnivore was primarily a fish eater.
That is called a piscivore, not a carnivore. Also, the Spinosaurus probably did not submerge that deep in order to catch fish most of the time normally. I mean, most of the time it would just wade in water like a grizzly bear, just waiting to catch fish. I mean, sometimes the Spinosaurus could dive deeper. The Spinosaurus could just swim better than most other dinosaurs, but like, I don't think the Spinosaurus would want to do like something like this shown in the video.
Looking like a cross between a crocodile and a duck.
It doesn't look like any of these. This is so stupid.
Spinosaurus's long snout sported nostrils that faced up and were midway down its snout, allowing it to cruise through murky waters with most of its body submerged. It also had secondary openings similar to neurovascular slits, which today are found in crocodiles. Its teeth were cone-shaped and not serrated like T-Rex, though perfect for catching fish, and even its powerful and clawed arms were thought to have been used for catching the car-sized fish of its primeval home. Sadly, due to a lack of fossil evidence and the rarity of discovered bones, not much.
Did you just pull in some random skeletons and then slapped it into the Spinosaurus skeleton and call it a day? Because the skull itself, especially the arms and all that, they do not look like a Spinosaurus.
Much is known about this incredible dinosaur. Its discovery, however, has completely changed scientists' perceptions of dinosaurs. While aquatic reptiles existed during the age of dinosaurs, it was long thought that dinosaurs themselves were limited to living and hunting on land. But the discovery of Spinosaurus and its very unique adaptations have led scientists to reconsider this conclusion.
I can all tell that this is probably not the cause of reconsidering these dinosaurs being semi-aquatic or so.
While some scientists theorize that Spinosaurus lived a semi-aquatic lifestyle, others believe that given its long range of adaptations, Spinosaurus may have been almost completely aquatic, an absolutely revolutionary discovery for those long-extinct animals.
The Spinosaurus could never be fully aquatic. Just look at its body structure.
This Earth has been a battleground between predator and prey for hundreds of millions of years, leading to the evolution of...
Is this now supposed to be an Allosaurus dealing with an Anki on the top page? The top part of the video shown over here.
Some truly astonishing and terrifying animals. This ongoing arms race between predator weapons and prey defenses continues to this day, and there's no telling what amazing animals may evolve in our future. Which of these fearsome predators...
So yeah, this is the end of the video. Alright, so the Infographics Show sometimes came with cool statements, but other times their statements are incredibly stupid. Kinda like Brightside, I guess. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.